When it comes to the game's MVP, there's no shortage of things you can gamble on. From specific players, the favorite as of Thursday afternoon was Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford at plus 100, meaning a $100 bet will pay out $200. To what position the MVP will play, QBs, of course, are the favorite. Some sites even let you bet on who the MVP will thank first after winning the award. Their team, their family, the fans, or God. The odds there haven't been set yet. I wouldn't bet against God. And then there's a perennial favorite. Super Bowl prop bet. What color Gatorade will get dumped on the winning coach? As of Thursday, DraftKings had set clear or water as the favorite with plus 250, followed by orange at plus 300. In 2 of the last 4 Super Bowls, blue Gatorade was dumped on the winning coach. DraftKings currently has plus 400 odds for a blue sports drink shower. For more, let's bring in Eric Mitchell, president and resident prop bets expert at Life Flip Sports. Eric, thanks for coming on the show. All right, so what is the weirdest prop bet you've seen for this year's Super Bowl?
It's one of my favorites, and it competes against the other sport, the big event that's going on right now. It is, does Cooper Kupp get more receptions in the Super Bowl than all the gold medals that Team USA is supposed to win? It's an interesting bet. It's a fun bet. You haven't seen that before. But again, at least the Super Bowl is not being held next to a nuclear reactor, so I guess we're winning there. But that's the strangest bet I've seen so far.
Wait, how many receptions he gets? I mean, how many receptions would be average in a game?
About 10 is what Cooper is averaging.
Okay. All right. So I would think, though, some of these really weird bets I would think could be dangerous for the bookies to take, because why can't someone close to Snoop tell them if he's going to smoke on stage? Or, you guess who the favorite is for the MVP, and a friend of theirs says, oh, if I win, I'm going to thank this person, and they go bet on it.
It's so weird. And you think about the numbers here, Dan. Let's talk about them. Legal betting, they're saying $1 billion on these what we're talking about, these prop bets. $1 billion. Then you go to the other side and add that in. It becomes over $7 billion in betting. So you're right. There could be players who hear that, but I really don't. I mean, Snoop smoking on stage, I think most of us are going to say take the over on that. Yeah. Eminem being censored. There's some interesting ones, but you hit the first one on the head talking about the national anthem and how long Mickey Guyton will sing. I think that's hilarious that we're actually timing it. There's also another bet we saw recently that actually has, will she get equal? How close will she get to what we all consider one of the greatest national anthems sung all time at Super Bowl was Whitney Houston's, right? And I'm like, well, how do you rate that? But it is interesting, the players and how they're going to behave. I mean, a lot of them don't focus on it. This is Super Bowl week. They're not probably worried about helping out somebody make $250 off of some silly bet, off of what color shoes or who they'll thank first. So they already get healthy payouts from their bonuses for being at the Super Bowl, and they're focused on that. But it will be interesting if they know. But, I mean, some of these are just amazing, and it's cool to go from we used to just bet on the coin toss. Now we're betting on some interesting things, color of Gatorade.
But are people betting big on some of these crazy bets, or are these just sort of, smaller bets?
Some of these bets are pretty big. The national anthem seems to be the big one. Also betting on receptions, first play. I've seen some interesting money put down, thousands of dollars put down on an interesting money line today, which was betting that the Bengals will win the coin toss, defer, and the Rams will score on their first play of the game with a long pass bomb to Odell Beckham. That's a big one. Thousands of dollars are being placed on that. A lot of money action is there. And the halftime show, I got to tell you, Dan, this is the first halftime show that I've seen that the money lines are heavy on. People are prop betting on everything from order of who's going to perform first to what songs will be performed or who's going to be censored the most and bleeped the most. And, of course, we're talking about Snoop shoes. And we're also talking about Snoop smoking, which seems to be kind of ironic that that's what the prop bets are. But you haven't seen that about a Super Bowl show in a long time, especially at halftime.
Is it true you can bet on the commercials?
You can bet on the order of the commercials. There's even a bet, Dan, that I just saw was how soon in the Super Bowl will the commentators mention gambling and what the over-under is on the game. Because we've seen that the last few seasons as these big the sponsors start adding up here and jumping in where legalized gambling is everywhere. In fact, the NFL there's a number of commercials that the NFL will feature telling you to be careful about betting on the game.
Right. What's your favorite long shot bet that you think could happen this year?
I think we're going to go with that first one, the long shot with the Bengals winning the coin toss. By the way, it goes all the way down to heads or tails. So Bengals calling tails, winning the coin toss, deferring till after halftime. Rams get the ball. First play is a long bomb to Odell Beckham. To me, that's crazy because we've had all those issues during the playoffs with the coin toss, calling who's going to win in overtime, to calling that. That's a long shot. But you put money on that and that happens, and we've seen that in the Super Bowl. This is, this Rams team's been to the Super Bowl recently. They played in some big games. This is the Bengals' first time in 32 years. So who knows? They have that butterflies, and they're not the best defense that's out there. So to me, that's the long shot I would take. The other ones are just, I don't know. I'm more in the game kind of person, not betting on what person's shoes are going, but they're fun.
Something like the shoes bet. Do you have to go to some like random offbeat place, or some of the major players taking some of these kind of silly bets as well?
Some of the major players are taking these silly bets as well. There are the typical offshore ones, but some of the bigger ones, they're getting involved in it. And, it's fun for them. But again, the national anthem, that comes back. It's funny. That's something that we know is going to happen. But the length of the national anthem seems to be the one everybody's taking some pretty heavy lines on. And again, the one we mentioned earlier. Go ahead.
It's just so funny to be thinking about like sitting there with your watch, right, as the national anthem, and you're like rooting as if you're rooting for the game, right? Go, go, go. Wait, longer on brave. Wait, right? Go, go, go. I mean, it's anyway.
It's true. I had that happen at a Super Bowl last year. I was standing next to somebody who I was watching them, and I'm like, what are they timing? Normally people film hand over heart, and I look next to somebody, and they're literally timing this. I'm like, what are you doing? I bet on it. I'm like, oh, wow. So it's interesting. All right.
Eric Mitchell, thank you for coming on the show. Good luck.
Thanks, Dan.
Coming up, we talked about Super Bowl betting and fan fighting. How about the most controversial ads, from suicidal robots to sex? Companies seem to want to court some controversy. That's next.